Oh, you know, don't mind me. I'm just over here building 47 million more conveyors to bring resources to yet another new production plant that I've built. Yep, that's right. I pushed through and I've spent the last like 4 or 5 hours building the final production plant we will need, or technically production chain we will need to finish off phase 3 or whatever. If you're curious what it is that I have been spending my time automating, well, it's the things I've promised I'd automate at least 4 times probably by now, and I never did. It's finally that time. It is the quick wire, circuit board, AI limiter, high-speed connector, and computer plant. AKA everything that needed Caterium. That's right. I think all the machines are done. I just need to get all the resources. So that's the plastic and that's the rubber hooked up, which will go into these assemblers making circuit boards and the manufacturer that's making the actual computers. This needs a belt going, obviously, over to this line. Okay, next up we need 220 copper per minute, or just about 220 copper per minute, because we need a lot of copper to make various different things. All of these, well, not all of them, all of these here, there's like a couple here, are going to be making copper, and then all of these over here are making Caterium. Do we have free copper nodes? I think so. We have a normal one there. Got an impure and an impure. We need 220. Since we're gonna have to upgrade all our miners to Mark 3, it's gonna go from 150 to 300, and since it's an impure node, the 80 left over won't be that much of a big deal, and plus it's copper anyways. Aluminum's probably gonna go in the rocky desert. Alright, that should be the copper hooked up, which will probably start a good couple of chains actually, because this is one of the important ones. Yep, there goes a little bit of copper. This will make wire, and it'll make copper sheets. However, these aren't hooked up to anything yet, because they will be for the AI limiters, which I just simply haven't put down the assemblers for yet. But we can do that now. It's just a single assembler anyway. It's not like it's a lot. I just didn't feel like doing the belt work. Alright, I think that's everything. We just need to hook up the quick wire, and then I think we're ready to fire this thing up. And then after that, once we have enough resource build up, we should be able to finally do the modular engines as well as the adaptive control units. Now, normally I would celebrate. Also, we're not going to be automating these. Well, we will eventually, maybe, but we don't have enough resources left in the general vicinity to be automating these, unfortunately. So we can't automate more of the space elevator parts fully for now. Oh yeah, this thing already has a miner and everything. Okay, I'll just overclock that and we'll run it over here. And now, before you mention it, because I know someone's gonna say it, well, this belt can't do 600, or neither can it do the 810-ish for this production chain, and you'd be right, because it's just gonna get upgraded as time goes on. We still don't have screws automated. I keep meaning to, like, do it, but none of this production chain needs iron in any way, so it's not like I had the leftover iron excuse. I'll just drop a random constructor or whatever and call it a day. The worst part is there probably is like an impure node or something that I could use for it, but at this point I think it's just funnier that if like screws end up being the last thing I ever automate. Hopefully that slight quick wire mishap didn't break anything. Yep, everything's starting to fire up and get moving. Everything's firing up and moving. Let's see if we produced anything. Truth is probably only the quick wire. Yeah. I haven't produced anything yet, but we'll get there, I know. Now the biggest challenge is just figuring out where everything goes, because Obviously, this has to all get up to the storage room in one way or another. Okay, so the quick wire one is the one on that, the only one on left on that side. The order for this is circuit boards, computer. Okay, so circuit boards, computer. The heavy modular frames already in, and then high-speed connectors. That doesn't seem too bad. The quick wire is probably the worst one, to be honest. I will have to double these up eventually, so double up the storage containers, but that's not something I'm ready to do. Eventually, we will do a basically hub revamp. Well, not hub revamp, but like storage room revamp, because I'm not ready to do that kind of stuff yet. I still needed a few more things automated. Now I probably do have enough stuff. The main thing I was missing was things like smart splitters, because we had no materials to make them, because we didn't have things like AI limiters, but now we will. Even better would be to also have a secondary syncing system that would be toggleable, that would sync if the storage containers are full. So the machines would run full bore straight into the awesome sync, so the entire world's production would go straight into the awesome sync, because something like that would be very useful for when we have to get the 1,000 FICSIT coupons for the golden nut statue, because I want to get the achievement and I'd like to do it legitimately. So, you know, that is that. I think this is the final segment of belt before we're entering what is basically going to be phase 3. Although, since of the lack of Caterium, unfortunately, it's going to take a little bit for these to start producing. But with this belt, I think that is everything. That's everything other than screws. And if you don't believe me, all of the belt slots are filled up other than screws. But yeah, now it's going to be, well, first of all, a question of waiting for things to produce, as well as powering this up, because I once again forgot, like a doofus. Alright, now that that's powered up, well, this belt is probably going to sort itself out. Yeah, there it goes, a little bit of production. It's not quick, but, you know, that's kind of to be expected when you're drawing about, well, when you're using about, when your things are consuming about double what you're producing. But Mark V belts are going to be a problem for another time. The problem for today is going to be finally finishing phase 3, like I've said a couple times already by now. We still need 500 modular engines and 100 adaptive control units. Modular engines are basically free, actually. I'm not even going to bother watching the cutscene again. I think we all know it at this point. That, which would be about there. Modular engine. Cranked at 2.5 per minute, really? It's not that much. It's not much, but I guess I don't necessarily need this stuff being built particularly fast. Derp, we're moving that Mach 20. Alright, anyways. We got a pretty good chunk of rubber. This should do for now. And now that's just gonna, well, I'll probably have to do a few rubber refills because it needs a lot of rubber. But that's just gonna produce on its own now, and I will never have to worry about it again. In terms of power, we're doing okay, actually. Since stopping a bit of the overclocking chaos, mostly because I am getting, like, I still have a lot. Like, I have a lot. I grinded a lot, expecting to keep using them, but I think we're gonna go on a break for now. At this point, I'm kind of just like, you know what, screw the performance. I think that having more machines looks cooler, and I think it feels more rewarding. So, I'm just committing to it at this point. Okay, then we get the computers in one of these. And then one of these is heavy modular frames. And and then this should start producing. I hate how loud the machines are, especially the manufacturers. Like, here's how loud a manufacturer is. Versus a constructor. I believe there's plenty of constructors to go around over here. Actually, the constructors are pretty loud too. Still, it's not that loud. To be fair, the machines do have like distance audio. So the closer you are, the quieter they get, but the manufacturers don't seem to have that. Yeah, I'm just using the exact same wall design, pretty much. It's about the exact same. Mostly because it looks decent while being simple to build. And what the size we're going to be building at, simple is honestly going to be more important than the little details. 2 walls done. Now, it goes quick like this, but that's because we just basically ran through all the encased industrial beams and everything. Like, we need more upload speed. We can go up to, I think, 240 items per minute, which is going to be much more reasonable on the Dimensional Depot. Well, I say reasonable, it's going to be much better for this amount of items, which is like basically 36 per second. Alright, it's official. The adaptive control units are done. The modular engines are done. I'm not going to bother removing this since there's still a bunch of leftover items. I don't want to clutter up my inventory. We're done with phase 3. Now normally this would be kind of a celebration point, because this would be the final stretch normally. However, obviously as of 1.0, it's not. So we've still got a lot to go. So let's send this up. I assume there's probably going to be another presentation. Hello, Ada.
Welcome to the Project Assembly
Pioneer
another
presentation.
Congratulations, the Phase 3 project part shipment is finally ready for delivery. On delivery, Phase 3 will be completed and the main body will be constructed. You should know how this works by now. You'll get access to tiers 7 and 8 in the hub. In fact,
Aluminum is what we
you should just go look at the technologies there yourself. It's all laid out so that even a monkey could understand it, so you should have no issues. Speaking of which, I don't think you need a reminder about project parts. Instead, I will be providing some interesting facts. Did you know the average pioneer succeeds at saving the day? Did you know the average pioneer knows how to optimize pipe throughput? Did you know the average pioneer stays late at work because they care about humanity? Anyway,
Yeah.
I thought you might want to know more about your peers. Good luck in Phase 4.
Oh, I definitely will, because phase 4 is nuclear, and that's going to be fun. Because it's going to probably involve doing a full nuclear project. Boom, complete phase 3 of the space elevator. Which probably puts my achievement percentage at 80% now. Or something around that. Because all of the achievements left are hard achievements. Things like completing the MAM and so on. I don't know, we can check it afterwards. But, we can check out the achievements together after this. We're literally just building a giant space dock.
Phase 3 of Project Assembly completed. FICSIT's predictions indicate pioneers should generally reach this point faster with above-average results, but we should all adjust our expectations according to the situation. It is understandable. The pressure and complexity will only increase from here, so be sure to take on Phase 4 with efficiency and confidence.
I will do. Maybe. I don't know. I still haven't even finished Tier 6 because I forgot. But yeah, we need a lot of stuff. And I'm still a bit sick, and I'm not going to bother cutting that out. Tier 8, we got particle enrichment, and yeah, we basically need everything. We need the leading edge, we need particle enrichment, we need advanced aluminum, I think. We need nuclear, and for some reason the magnetic field generators snuck in there. We need supercomputers, which should be quantum computers, so that's still wrong. Yeah, that's meant to be a quantum computer. In the next episode, we're either going to be getting into aluminum, or it's going to be another building episode. Depends how quickly they bring out a patch for the billboards, because the billboards do not emit light properly with lumen anymore. They've confirmed it's been patched internally, but until that patch goes out to the public, I don't feel like doing trial and error, guessing where I have to place lights. So it's not going to be pitch black down there when we add the next floor, because we're going to need another floor. I also added the storage containers for the... I almost forgot about this. I added the storage containers for the stupid SAM stuff. I never finished the belts, but I finally automated SAM. I managed to spare a little bit of steel, and I managed to grab the only iron node left in the entire freaking area, because we desperately need Mark III miners. We're out of resources nodes. Open up the floodgates to the SAM abomination. Yep, the SAM is going now. I forgot to connect some of the constructors. I was wondering why it was going so slow.